Hi, I'm Ellie from Smart Apps for Kids. I'm going to have a little look today at kids' ear training from MDEX Music. This is a music app that's aimed at enhancing ear training in young music students. First up over here, you've got two modes of how to play. You have the guided study. If it's locked on, and I'll show you, if it's locked on, little locks turn up down here, so it progresses the play with the player depending upon how successful they are at each section. And if we turn it off, it means that we can have a look at anything we would like at whatever level we would like. Up here in the menu is a user's guide. Now this is very important to have a look at because the interface on this is not intuitive. I struggled a bit with it, but you understand it once you get going. So let's have a look at the user's guide. This bit gives you a description of the guided study mode. Down here in the blue is something interesting which you won't find unless you're looking for it. An optional listen and learn level is available if you need to learn how the first musical elements for the current stage sound, and there's only one balloon shown, so it's like a demonstration, but it doesn't really teach you what you're looking for, it just gives an example. If you don't already have prior knowledge for these, you're going to struggle. Let's tick next. So we're going to select Introduction, Sound and Fun. We're still in the tutorial at the moment, so tap here to play at any stage. This section shows you how to play. Tap and hold down your finger on a balloon to play the sound. Double tap to select the one you think is correct. So that's pretty common sense. These elements down the bottom are interesting and helpful. There's a timer. This section here gives you the opportunity to change the volume between the background sound and the balloons. The wave section gives you a visual of what you are listening for, and to me this is a really helpful section. And I wish this had been displayed more prominently or was used as an example mode, because it gives you both a visual and an oral of what you're looking for. The staff on or off, when there are musical elements that request a staff, you're able to see them on the staff as well. And the endurance mode, if it's turned on, it will just keep going from one question to another. If it's turned off, it will stop in between. You need to manually move on to the next question. So, okay, let me play. Let's go back to the stages, up here in the top left-hand corner, and let's choose bottom left-hand corner, Introduction, Sound and Fun. So this is good for your beginners, except they can't read it. If I tap on this question here, I would have loved to have had it voiced, but if I tap it, I'm about to do, it just moves on to the next question. I would have liked to have had it sounded. But here we go, we're looking for a low pitch sound. So I'm going to hold on this balloon here, and I'm going to hold on this one. Now, did you see the sound wave down there? They're really useful. Well, there's a high-pitched one. Okay, so this one on the right is the low-pitched. I've just double-tapped it. And we go on in this style. We're looking for high-pitched again. I'm going to double-tap. We get a lot of the same sort of questions with different musical examples. Let's go on to set 2. Pitch, up, down, or constant. And you've got a little visual here. We're looking for a wibbly sound. No. So we're looking for this one. This time we're looking for one that heads downwards. Okay, let's move on out of this set. I'm going to press forward because I'm just demonstrating for you. We can look for different types of voices, different animal sounds, because this is the fun section, musical instruments, and you've got it written, different sorts of musical instruments. Now we have pictures to show you. I thought these pictures are just a little bit too small. I know this is a clarinet, but you know, if it's an oboe, it's going to have just a little tiny double reed up the top there, and the picture's just a little bit too small to see easily if these are unfamiliar instruments for children. So let's go back to the stages and have a look at another set. The relative pitch, solfege and Kodály sounds. We're in set 1. Now here we have movable do in context, and we're looking for mi. Now one of these balloons is always do, and the other one is mi. So that one's do, so this is what we're looking for. Okay, let's go back to the stages. We've had a look at the solfege and kadai. Now we're going to have a look down here at perfect pitch, which is written prefix pitch, notes and notation. Now I don't have perfect pitch, I have learned pitch. I know where a note sits within my voice. So one like this is really very hard if you don't have perfect pitch. I understand that it's a useful tool to develop, not that you can develop pitch, you're born with perfect pitch. But this is an interesting exercise to include. So we're looking for C. This is where...
there?
Yes, I'm still here. This is where down here turning the staff on will come in handy because it gives you a visual of where it is on the staff. Or if it just said F, it could be this F here, it could be this F here, it could be this F here. So you don't know, so it's good to be able to see it. Back to stages. Let's have a look at rhythms, tars, toars and notation. Now I do not know what a toar is. I've been teaching music for quite some time and it's certainly not one of the French time names that I know or the Germanic time names. I even googled it and it doesn't seem to exist in the world of music. So I'm not certain what the developers are looking for here, but I'm sure someone will enlighten me at some stage. So let's click on rhythm. So let's hold down the balloon and have a listen. See, if your child does not already know crotchets and a crotchet rest and minims, they would have no idea here. There's no actual teaching. Let's move through these examples. Just so you can have a quick look. More balloons as we get into harder rhythms. If you're a teacher and you're using this, I really think it would be a very good idea to have a good look at it first before setting your student free on it, because there's a lot of disparity between each set. Let's have a look at intervals now. We're on set 3. We've got a visual here. What happens if we turn the staff off? It tells you we're looking for a perfect octave, which is not what we were seeing before, so it's moved us on. Let's have a listen. Okay.
Great, yeah.
Let's move through. Here's where they play them separately and then play them together, which for my money is much more helpful. Okay, moving on to the next set. We're using the major third, the minor thirds, the major sixth, the minor sixth, and demonstrating them up in one key. So this is very specific. Some of the other stages could do with having this level of specification of what is being looked for in each set. Let's go back to triads, alone and in context. So here we have a major triad. So let's have a listen.
Okay.
I like to have the staff on, but it's good to be able to have the option. Now, back up in the menu, useful for teachers, I think, is to have a look at the show stats. Now, this will give you an idea of what each stage has within each set. Once again, I think that you should go in and have a good look first before you do any of these with your students, so that you know exactly what each offers. There's so much content in this app. This is what blew my mind. So much content. If only the interface were just a little bit easier to use, a little bit more interesting, it would be really engaging for children to be able to reinforce things that they're learning in their lessons or in their choirs or on their instruments, because developing ear training is really, really important in a musician. I would suggest that this is not a course but a quiz, so don't buy it if you expect it to teach your children oral and music theory concepts, because they need a significant amount of prior knowledge to be able to play it. But it's priced at $2.99, which I think is just right for music educators, and they can use this as a tool to help reinforce the ear training concepts. It has such a huge amount of content.